Deebo Samuel's on the move. We know he's on the move. He's not staying in San Francisco. My boy Raj from RSF 49ers even said 0% chance. 75% chance he gets traded, 25% chance he gets released. And it does appear there are suitors, and according to our boy Raj himself, several teams have reportedly expressed interest in Deebo, which we knew. Deebo and his agent and teams have had preliminary talks potentially on a trade that would send Deebo to another team in exchange for draft capital, most likely. That information is widely known, widely talked about, and we have brushed up against this topic several times over the last handful of shows and weeks, but we're going to continue to talk about it as new reports surface. Another report I'll go over in a minute, and then we're going to draft. And then we're going to specifically talk about where's an appropriate place to draft Deebo. Where does Deebo turn into a pretty darn good value? Where is he a complete avoid? What we otherwise call line in the sand. When a player goes from avoid, crosses through the line in the sand and becomes a value. Every player has a line in the sand. Caleb Williams, even for me, a player I'll never draft, really has a line in the sand. If he ever were to cross that line, I don't know that he will. Cooper Kupp, line in the sand. Travis Kelce, these are all players that people want to give up on, but there is a line in the sand. Deebo, you want to give up on him, right? There is a line in the sand. We'll go over where that line is. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. The Draft Edition, the Graveyard Show, the After Dark Show. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Let's roll.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
We've got a $50 hauler in the building. Ray G wants to drop the first $50 super chat of the year. And for those that don't know, we have a big board up here where people drop a $50 bowl prediction. This is the 2024 board. We still got to clear it out, but Ray G wants to be the first to drop his $50 prediction. So we'll go over the winner tonight at some point. I believe it's going to be Superfish that's going to win this, because Superfish had the best prediction. It was that Jonnu Smith would be a top 5 tight end. And a lot of these other ones, a lot of them missed because everyone was swinging very big. $50 hauler from Ray G.
Give me $50 holler.
Smitty, give me $50. That's the voice of an angel. That's Denny, if you don't know. My bold take prediction for next year is that Allen getting 8 TDs in his rookie season. Okay, we'll put it up on the board, Ray G, once we clear it off. Ray G, thank you so much for the super chat. $50, my boy. Anybody else wants to drop one that can drop one tonight, it is officially open, I guess. Ray G is making sure of that. Ray G will add that in a minute. Appreciate you. Let's get to the Deebo Samuel news. Not anything new other than there are new reports and people talking about it from a little bit of a fresh angle. So we're going to cover those angles. Very much the same information, but Deebo is in his agent teams in preliminary talks, about like what it could look like. Obviously nothing can be done now, but there's always back end deals. There's always people talking. There's always things going on before the actual official league year begins here in March. But this coming from Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, that there's potential trade conversations happening, some what if situations being talked about and kicked around. Now, where might he go? I've got a bunch of names on screen here. Baltimore Ravens, their logos on screen. Baltimore Ravens, Green Bay Packers, Buffalo Bills, Houston Texans, Dallas Cowboys, not the San Francisco 49ers. And my prediction, and I still stand by it, is that he lands with one of the teams on this top row here. Buffalo, Denver, Houston, or Baltimore, which are also in the graphic. But that's where I believe Deebo has the most value to those teams. Also, I believe that there are some potential ring-chasing opportunities here, not with every one of these, but playoff contending team, Houston Texans, Stroud, Denver Broncos, Bo Nix on the rise. Those are probably the less attractive places, but the Niners are going to hold some of the cards. Deebo can say things like, I don't want to go there, but It's not like it's something he has total control in, and that the team's going to be like, yeah, we're going to totally sign this guy to a monster extension. They could, but Deebo Samuel doesn't have the leverage that, let's say, a player like Brock Purdy would, who's going to sign a new deal the moment the trade's announced, the new contract would be announced with it. Not saying Brock Purdy's getting traded. I'm just trying to give an example that Deebo's not in the same boat as Brock, especially given he's older, especially given he doesn't want to be in San Francisco. And you might say, well, are you sure about that, Smitty? Well, there's a lot of rumors, and our boy Raj is one of the people I think we could trust on this topic because they're very pro Niner, over on the fan page side of things. And so when they're bleak about something, it's really true, because a lot of times I think a lot of the Niner pages like to sugarcoat stuff because they're all about their team. Deebo might stay. Deebo's leaving. This report right here, Deebo Samuel wants to be treated like a number one wide receiver on his next team, and he was upset with his usage last year with the 49ers. I mean, Deebo dropped the ball, no pun intended, when he was given the opportunity on several occasions. And Deebo is completely out of shape right now. All the reports and the video footage confirms it for me. The guy looks like he's carrying about 20 extra LBs walking into the early part of the offseason. Now, I'm not saying at the Super Bowl he was carrying like 20 extra LBs. He did not look like he was in football shape on any level whatsoever. When you're older, when you've got a lot of mileage, and you're kind of an injury-prone player, and you're approaching those final years where you could be considered at the prime, and he really might be past that. He might have one more year of prime football, but that's going to be hard to do if you're entering the season kind of barely in shape just in time. That means you're pushing it, right? You're barely getting to where you need to be. Instead of being in shape all offseason long, being ripped, having your nutrition in order, he's going to do all this cram session type stuff. And when you're older, the cram session doesn't always work. And if he even gets to the point where he's at a good weight and everything, that's if he does get there. If he doesn't, then he's definitely going to get hurt if he's carrying extra LBs trying to play a ruthless version of the position of wide receiver that is called wide back. That is what he plays. That is a brutal way to play the wide receiver position, and he plays essentially running back as a wide receiver. This is one of the best yak yardage players of the last decade, though. Let's give him a little respect when we start kicking his name around for players we want to completely avoid in 2025. If he goes to the right place, let's say he goes to the Buffalo Bills, there's some value there. This is one of the best yak yardage receivers we've ever seen in the last decade of football. The stats back it up. He's a yak yardage monster. If he gets the ball and he's healthy, he's either getting ushered out of bounds by 2 or 3 players or he's in the end zone. That's the way this guy operates and plays. And I'm not saying that time is still here. It may be gone. That time may be gone. Washington's a possibility for sure. Washington's in the mix as well. I'm not saying that time's gone. The Deebo will never return to that yak yardage monster, but he is teeter-tottering on the time of drop off. Which direction is he going to go? Is he going to go back in the direction of being productive for 1 or 2 more years, or is he going to fall off the face of the earth and become what Julio Jones was when Julio Jones had that final 1 or 2 years where people kept buying into it and he wouldn't deliver. He just wasn't the same player. Every player falls off. It happens all the time. Adrian Peterson fell off. Barkley's going to fall off. Derrick Henry's going to fall off. I know people like to joke, Derrick Henry, never going to bet against him. At some point, you're going to have to bet against him. At some point, you're going to have to at least consider that the amount of carries Saquon Barkley got in 2024 is alarming, and it gives you more risk than you're comfortable with walking into 2025. So Deebo's got a whole bunch of risk. The problem, or I'd say the upside, is that you no longer have to pay for Deebo Samuel in a territory. Well, actually, let's just go to this right here. In a territory of risk. This is where you had to draft Deebo. His line in the sand used to be like round 2. Then it kind of last year was like round 2, 3. That's where Breece Hall is right now. Look at that beautiful line in the sand for this man, Breece Hall. Let me get rid of him for a second. This is kind of where it was a little bit last year. Like Deebo's line in the sand. Now it's like you look at it, is it somewhere in here? No, not anymore. Not anymore. Deebo Samuel is now probably, if I had to guess, I want to say his ADP is in the 6, 7 round territory. And that's acceptable. Let me look up his ADP right now just to make sure. But 7 round territory, wide receiver 3, and maybe an approach where you're even kind of playing a little lazy in scooping up your wide receiver 3. You're stacking other positions. Deebo Samuel's ADP as of right now is at, goodness gracious, man, I'm still scrolling, 72 overall. 72 overall, wide receiver 40. And if we look at an ADP board, 70 overall is putting him around 6th, 7th round. So this is probably perfect. So about top of round 7 is where you're hoping to get him. 7th drafted player. There's no risk with Deebo Samuel as your 7th drafted player. That line in the sand is comfortably in round 7. Easily. 7.1 would be the line in the sand. If anybody thinks that they're risking the biscuit, they may be throwing their season away at 7.1. That's crazy to me. That is just holding on to bias about how he finished. Oh, Deebo's done. I won't touch him. That's like when people say, I won't draft Cooper Kupp. Okay, good, fine. Don't draft Cooper Kupp in round 9 or 10. You do you. You stand your ground, and you're so smart with your, you're not going to draft him ever. I don't care where he is. Taking your bold stance. I get it. It's kind of fun to act like you're crazy and wild. But Deebo Samuel in round 7, that package is in every bit of risk that we're talking about. Every bit of risk that... Take a lap. It's baked in. It's baked in. It's all baked in. So at the end of the day, you can complain about it. You can act like this is a non-important topic to fantasy football. But Deebo Samuel in round 7's kind of a steal. And I venture to say he won't leave round 6. He'll probably go at 6.1 to 6.12 in our upcoming draft here in a second, because I don't think people are going to, in this stream, like let him sit there too long when we're talking about him. But he's going around round 6 to 7. But it would be end of round 6 to top of 7. And that's an acceptable territory. Where does he land? I mean, where he lands obviously makes that 7th round value or late 6th round valuable, or 6th round ADP more valuable. So if he's in, I don't know, Buffalo, he can win you a league in round 7. But if he's in Buffalo, if he gets traded to Buffalo, does he climb to round 5? That's going to be the difference. So here's my plea to you. If you're going to take a gamble or draft this man, do it now. Do it before he gets traded. Because if he doesn't go somewhere outstanding, let's call Denver good but not outstanding. They've got Cortland Sutton. There's not a world where we can lock Deebo into a number 1 wide receiver for his team in Denver. The number 1 wide receiver in Houston, he can't be. Nico's there. The number 1 wide receiver in Dallas, he can't be. CeeDee Lamb's there. So, and even in Baltimore, it's kind of fun, but it's not a great fantasy football landing spot. Lamar doesn't produce top 20 wide receivers. Never has. Never will. So, even though the worst case scenario could be presented to us later, he's earning your value. He's earning those bad landing spots, quote unquote, or not amazing landing spots. He could earn that value from those locations. But if you draft him now in best ball in round 7, get your beak wet in round 7 before the trade, and then once Deebo's ADP moves up, let's say he goes to Buffalo and he goes into the 5th round or 5.10 or whatever, and you go, I'm out. I understand it, but guess what? You already did your drafting. You already got him in enough leagues at 7-round value. You can tap out and say, have fun drafting Deebo. I got him early. I got him when he was in round 7. I did it on Underdog promo code Smitty, which is where we're going to draft here in a second. Link is pinned in the live chat. I'll drop the link one more time in the live chat. I'll pin this link here because it's got a little more information in it. The link's in the description of the video if you're watching the replay. Now is the time to strike on Deebo Let's not have this conversation 2 months from now and be like, well, are we taking him at 5.1? Seems too high. Well, good. We'll avoid him. But we'll know we have Deebo. Cost of entry, return on investment high. The likelihood is high that you're getting a good return on your investment in round 7. Stop clinging to that you're not going to draft him. There's no way you like him anywhere. Stop doing that. Deebo Samuel. Jump into a draft right now on Underdog. Go to the link that I just dropped. Go to the draft tab at the bottom. Make sure lobby tab is selected at the top. Scroll through the cards until you get to the $3 little board. And you're going to get into that. It's about 10, 12, maybe 15 swipes away. Little board, $3 entry. There's there's 500K in prizes. First place gets 100K. Little board. Hit the green button. Do it live. Jump into a draft. Do it live, son. And I'm going to pull up the draft right now. Put it on my screen. And then we're going to open the phone lines to discuss a little Deebo Samuel. Here is the draft. Laporta drafts last night. That went well. Put Deebo Samuel's mug right here so we can have that conversation again. Code Smitty. Have it on the top and the bottom of the screen. The links pinned in the live chat. Links in the description of the video. Code Smitty gets it done as well. Underdog will match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000. So you drop the minimum of $10, they'll give you $5. You drop 100, they'll give you 50. You drop 500, they'll give you 250, etc., etc. All the way up to $1,000. 3 more to begin this draft. Then we'll see the draft order once it fills. 1 more to begin the draft. 1 more. And then we start. 1 more. Jump in. Code Smitty. Link in the description. If you don't get into this one, just get into one right next to us and use the logic that we're deploying and talking about and discussing. Phone lines are open. Draft begins now. We are full. Draft starts in 57 seconds. I got the 1.2. You can see it right there. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Do it live. Do it live. Which little ball is it? I don't know what that means, Aaron. You mean which draft? It's called little board. The little board. It's the only one there. It's called little board. There's a bigger board, a big board, and a little board. And it's only $3 one. It's only $3 one that they have. We have to go over. We'll probably do it during this draft when we get into it. I'll probably go up and read some of the bold predictions that we got up here. So once this draft starts and we get into like 2-3 rounds, I'll open phone lines are open now. We'll go to the board and we'll select. I'll probably manually grab the ones that look like they're potential solid. Let's go Bijan here. Solid predictions, because there's a lot of them, and it's gonna be interesting to break them down. Bijan going 1, Saquon, Jahmyr Gibbs doing it live. What's up, Travis? What's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, not bad.
Good to see Bijan getting taken at the top again after last year.
Yeah, I'm not going to let him fall.
A lot of people came in doubting him.
Yeah, I'm not going to let him fall. What do you think about Deebo's landing spot? What's the most likely landing spot?
I mean, most likely, I think you've got it narrowed down pretty well. I wonder if the Bills shoot for someone like a little more, I don't know, traditional of a wide receiver, someone a little younger maybe, but if they can't get that, I can see that. I still really like the Ravens, just the way that they, Lamar goes off of athleticism and running and they throw it deep quite a bit, which if Deebo's in shape, he can go deep as well as play the wide back type thing.
So where's the
I like
best
that spot.
where's the best landing spot in your opinion? I think Washington would obviously be amazing, but we don't know.
I like Baltimore. I like Baltimore for him.
Baltimore
Just kind of sliding in with what they have.
for best football landing spot. Baltimore could be definitely the best football landing spot. I think.
Yeah, I guess that's what I was saying.
I don't know about fantasy, but
yeah, for fantasy, I don't know. Houston might be now that Tank Dell is down and out almost for sure the rest of the year.
yeah.
They have Mechie and other guys, but he could slide into that spot and have enough targets to keep him happy. But again, I like you said, if he's on anyone good, he's not going to be the number one receiver. He just has to get enough targets to keep him happy. And I don't think he should be the number one receiver on any good team. So I think Houston maybe for fantasy.
This is a draft. This one I might take Tyreek Hill in. I'm going to take Tyreek Hill in this one because I went Bijan. I don't love Tyreek Hill. I don't draft him a lot. We did a show on this the other day saying that, Tyreek Hill is solid. Really, really solid for, I don't know. He's solid for best ball. He's not solid for non-best ball. It's a very, very tough place to be in non-best ball redrafting your buddy leagues. You do 3 leagues, you do 1 work league, you do 2 buddy leagues, and you take Tyreek. In best ball, he can start off slow, he can go through whatever he's got to go through, he can have a great month, and then it doesn't matter, you got people that are going to step up. It's a wee bit early here, but I have to reach. I'm sorry. So Bijan, Tyreek, Kyren. I go back and forth whether I like Deebo. Whether I like Tyreek or let's say a JSN or a Garrett Wilson at that turn. Whenever I'm there, I mix it up. I definitely don't have like a certain player I'm taking every time, but man, Tyreek has got so much ability still left, I think, speed-wise. We went over it. We don't need to go over it in tremendous detail tonight, but we went over it in a whole show. There's just no sign of this guy slowing down yet. It makes 0 sense that he didn't have a good year last year. It's all to do with Tua. Then you think, okay, but that hasn't changed. What is going to change? Not much. Tua's healthy, hopefully, starting the season. Bobby Slowick, hopefully, is an answer for the passing attack in general. And then you just hope that Tyreek Hill still has that one more year left. And that's why I say, do it in best ball. Do it in a $5 draft. Do it in a $3 draft. Do it in a $10 draft. Do it in a handful of them. You don't have to just say, oh, I'm going to do it in one league. Do it in a handful. Do it in like 10, 15, 20 early best ball drafts. And then, just don't take the risk on Tyreek in your non-best ball leagues. I just don't think it's smart. Because, I could have Mbuka, right, later on that's going to get going and be an absolute rookie monster. And once if Tyreek Hill plays well at the beginning of the year but falls off at week 10, then that swap out happens, and I don't even have to control it. It can happen anytime that Tyreek plays bad. He gets pulled, and, that's the way best ball is for anybody new to best ball. So, JSN fell all the way to the end of the 3rd round here, which is nice to see. I like to see that there's a ability to maybe get him at the 3-4 turn. Hell yeah.
Well, and if the speed is still there with Tyreek, the only other risk is to his health. So it's like there's no reason he should fall off if his speed is still there. Even him half a step slower is still faster than most of the league.
Yeah. So where are we at?
What do you
right
like,
now?
Deebo as like your 3rd or 4th receiver?
I don't think I'd
Is that what
take.
you said?
I don't think I'd take Deebo anywhere near. Yeah, I mean, I'm taking him in the 6th round at the earliest. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, so coming up on my pick here. Let's see here. I like Ted McMillan here. I like Deebo or DK here. I keep seeing Deebo because we're talking about him. Ted McMillan here. DK Burrow. Okay, on the clock here, it went Joe Mixon, Rashee Rice. I like a lot here. I've got Bijan, Kyren, Tyreek. I'm gonna go Rice. I'll go Rice. That gives me Bijan, Tyreek, Kyren, Rashee Rice. That's pretty solid. That's really solid. Phone lines are open, guys. Dial in. Deebo, what's this guy saying? As a 49er, Deebo sucks, says Wi-Fi. Well, I mean, bro was not good last year. He was not good last year on any level. He was very, very bad. I think I timed out. But that's fine. That's who I wanted, Ted McMillan. All right, so that's why you got a Q. Bijan, Tyreek, Kyren, Rashee Rice, Ted McMillan. I like it. I like it a lot. It's a good trio of wide receivers. That's a good duo rushing stable. Looking solid.
Who, I'm looking at guys that are going around Deebo's ADP, like Juwan Jennings, Reed, Jamie McMillan. Do you like those guys better than Deebo, or is it like kind of just spread it out, take one?
Read them off again. Read them off again.
Jennings, Reed, and McMillan.
Jennings, Reed, and McMillan. McMillan's going to go from... God, it's so tough. McMillan's going to go from either a potential, I don't want to say superstar, but like a mini superstar to a third wide receiver again, which he still be productive. Yeah. But he's more of a mid-season monster potential guy again. And I mean, how can McMillan do what he was doing with Godwin back if Godwin returns? And Godwin is looking like he's going to return. 80% chance Chris Godwin's a Buccaneer. He's got moving that void year to the start of the league year, giving themselves time to negotiate a deal. It's very, very likely, 80%, maybe even 90% likely that Godwin's a Buccaneer. So I guess Deebo and Jennings are really close. I probably, for safety, would rather have Jennings. I think that if you're a high-risk, high-reward guy, maybe you go Deebo. If he's in Buffalo, if he's in Houston, maybe. If he's in Washington, but I don't know. I think Jennings probably is safer. So Deebo went in round 6 here. Deebo in round 6. That's the spot that his ADP is kind of projecting him for. He might even go a little bit later than this, but like right around that territory. That's a normal spot for him. Pretty decent value. I look at the team in what is this? Team 10. So Nico, Achane, JSN, JD5, Walker, Deebo. It's solid. It doesn't make you... You're not losing your league taking Deebo in round 6. You're not necessarily winning it, but players available. Let's see what we're going to do here. David Montgomery, not a bad 6th rounder. What value David Montgomery is right now. Yeah. Wow. 6th round. There's nothing wrong with 6th round value. Dial in, guys. Phone lines are open.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
All right, here we go. I like Trevion Henderson. That's solid. I don't like that he's climbing this high, though. I feel like you're almost like losing a lot of the appeal. I'm gonna go Ibuka. I love him as a fourth wide receiver. This is what I'm talking about. When you draft Tyreek Hill and you plan accordingly, you're getting Hill, Rashee Rice, Tet McMillan, Ibuka. That's just awesome, because at one point McMillan or Ibuka is going to replace maybe Tyreek Hill. Maybe they don't have to. I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes here. Going to stack him to Rashee Rice. Getting Mahomes in round 7's criminal. Doesn't make any sense at all. Here's my squad. Pat Mahomes, Bijan, Kyron, Tyreek, Rashee Rice, Tet McMillan, and Ibuka. That's a freaking phenomenal start.
Like that.
Part of me almost wishes I didn't have Hill on this team, hence why he's a kind of a mixed bag. I'm like, damn, this team's so good. Now I'm worried about wasting that pick on Tyreek Hill. That's the nature of taking him. It's so, and you go back and you look at Tyreek Hill and you say, Garrett Wilson, T. Higgins. I don't want Josh Allen there because I got Mahomes very late and I'm happy with that. McLaurin, I don't know. I could have went Breece Hall and Kyron Bijan, but then, then I'm risking it like we were talking about last night. Although I still think I could probably draft a running back team. The argument and debate we got in last night with who was it? It was Knapp. Knapp called in and he was arguing that J-Mo as your number one wide receiver looks great. I have a bone to pick with you, Smitty, because you said it didn't. It's no, every team he showed me looked like trash. But I do believe I could draft a running back. If I was to go Breece Hall, Bijan, Kyron, and then I went Rashee Rice, Tet McMillan, Ibuka, I think it could work. But at the end of the day, I still don't think that will ever be my strongest team. So in a sense, why do it? I don't know. Balance is a little bit better, this team. Now, if Tyreek Hill's a nothing burger, man, I could have got somebody else instead of Tyreek Hill. What a waste, Breece Hall, whatever. But I think if I look at this and I reverse engineer it and I say, Garrett Wilson worth the gamble over Tyreek Hill? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not. Hard to say.
Yeah, and when you take Hill, you're kind of rolling the dice that you're going to get a great return on that ADP if he's able to do, like I said before, 80% of his peak,
Yeah. Burden, yeah, I'm not as big on Luther Burden as everybody else. I don't hate him. I just don't love him. Ollie Gordon, I like Ollie Gordon a lot. He's a value grab way later. Deebo will do best in Baltimore. I don't agree, Wi-Fi. No one does well in Baltimore as a wide receiver. Look, Lamar's never had a top 20 wide receiver, bro. So it's a death sentence to go to Baltimore. In terms of fantasy,
I think it's good for the team.
Yeah, it's a great football
not
move.
For him.
Great football move. Might put them over the top. Who knows? Cooper Kupp's about to get drafted right here. Or he just got drafted right here. Kyler Murray. Let's check out who's available. Man. I'll go Tyler Warren here.
I like that. Yep.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. Especially waiting this long on trying to assemble the entire team. Mahomes got 2 RBs. My flex currently is a wide receiver and Mbuka, but it could change. I could definitely grab somebody else here shortly. Damn. I mean, no one's gone that I like. I'm just looking at this, and it's just such a grab bag at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and grab ETN here. I wanted Charbonnet, but I could have went Charbonnet and ETN here, which was what I was thinking about doing. but I'm okay with filling my lineup with Tyler Warren in this one. I do a lot of Charbonnet ETN drafts, so I don't need to deploy that here. I bet Bateman has a fire season. I bet that he doesn't, though, Aaron, because, again, nobody has a top 20 wide receiver season in Baltimore. So I just don't. I don't know why the hype is always huge for Baltimore wide receivers. I don't get it. I don't get how the pattern isn't recognizable at this point.
Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers would be awesome.
He would.
And
He's
he has awesome games, but they can't string it together for the full season in that system. I mean, it's hard when you have a running back, a quarterback that's running, 900 yards, 800 yards. I mean, you even see it in Buffalo. It's been a while since they've had a top guy, and I'm not saying they can't because Allen's a little bit different of a thrower, but it's hard to do when you have quarterbacks taking up that many rushing yards.
Yeah.
Do you like Cup at his ADP or Deebo at his ADP? I think Cup is like 97 right now.
Which one do I like better at their ADP?
Yeah.
I'll let you know on this side of the phone call break. Dial in.
Into the show. Call into the
Dial
show.
in. Cup. Probably probably Cup because he's further downstream.
I like Cup.
I think they're both about the same level of risk of not ever returning the value you want, but if Deebo's costing you a 7 and Cup's going to cost you a what is it, 10 or 9? What is it? Somewhere around there. It seems a lot better. But I like both of them. I still think there are teams where I've drafted Cup and Deebo as my 3 and 4, and I feel very comfortable with it. Especially if I've stacked earlier with what's up, Daniel? Daniel, you in the garage or pantry tonight? He got in trouble last night. The missus found him in the garage watching the show. He got in trouble. Didn't even get to finish his drink. That's criminal, Daniel.
That's dumb.
That is criminal.
Down the drain.
Do I see Deebo as a wide back instead of a receiver? I mean, it depends on where he goes. That's what I'm saying. Keep in mind that, Adam Peters is the one that was, that you could say he doesn't design the offense or anything, but if he brings him over, I'm not saying he will. The intention will be very much to probably use him in ways that, he was used while Adam Peters is in San Francisco, which was under Mike McDaniel's architecture and obviously Shanahan as well. But so if Deebo went to Miami, you could bet your bottom dollar he's probably going to be used as a wide back a lot. I think Buffalo would use him as a wide back in a sense, because this is a team that, even though James Cook had 20 rushing touchdowns, this is a team that's very unpredictable with their running attack. They have been for years. And is there a world where they get consistent with it? Sure, but I don't believe that Buffalo, as we talked about on today's earlier show, has any intention in signing. Let me grab Tank Bigsby here. Any intention is the squad. Bijan, Kyron, ETN, Bigsby. I like cuffing that crew together there in Jacksonville. I do it a lot. Tyreek, Rashee Rice, Ted McMillan, Egbuka, and Tyler Warren. Feeling pretty good about that. I don't think there's any intention to pay Cook or make Cook a focal point of the offense, like he's assuming. Like he thinks he's this engine that runs the entire Buffalo Bill system. I think he's out of his mind. I like Cook. We liked him a lot, but it's time to maybe potentially walk away from the climbing ADP value. Man, this is like a I don't know. There's nothing here. This is the deadest zone I can find. I don't even know where to go from here. I don't even like a single player. Well,
Grab guys that can have spike weeks, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Dak here. As much as people hate Dak for whatever reason, Dak can have those huge games. So I'm going to go with Dak, especially because Mahomes, did have a struggle bus year. I'm not saying I think he will this year with his wide receiver crew and all, but I like Dak a lot as a second quarterback in best ball, where if he totally could have a 5-touchdown game, 4-touchdown game once every month. So Dak's a really good best ball quarterback. I think Dak's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in fantasy, man. I'm not saying I like him in the top 5. I'm not trying to argue those kind of points, but why is he going around 11? You could literally punt quarterback and do the late quarterback strategy, which I never really deploy. But you could easily do it with Dak Prescott as your starting quarterback in round 11. That's a fantastic value. It's fantastic. It's not even good. It's fantastic value. Niners need to make a decision on Samuel before March 22nd when he's, yes, if San Francisco does plan to cut Samuel. They're not going to cut him, I don't think, but there's a chance. I mean, like we've said, it seems 75-25 that he gets traded, cut. But there seem to be interested parties. And at some point, the Niners, if push comes to shove and they say, hey, eat some of this contract or whatever, they got to weigh out whether sacrificing that is worth buying a draft pick, So there could be even something like that happens. But Jimmy Garoppolo starting somewhere next season? I don't think so, pal. If so, that organization needs to be removed from the NFL. That GM or decision maker needs to be fired on the spot. And they need to reverse that immediately. Jimmy Garoppolo. Come on, bro. Oh my God. I mean, that was from Z Niner. He's a Niner fan. Jimmy, our beloved Jimmy. He wasn't that bad, Smitty. Yeah. Dak is good for fantasy, but not getting to a Super Bowl. Those are two totally different arguments. Two completely different arguments, my boy. Thank you, Space Ricky, Mod Squad in the building. My mods are always at work in the chat. Appreciate you guys. My mods are always at work. They're blocking spam and all kinds of stuff left and right constantly. You guys do it all. Appreciate you. I appreciate my mod. My mods make my life easy. I don't have to worry about any of that. I bet... What is that other comment? Vampy in the building. See, Vampy's in the building. All my mods are here. Except for Terry Roberts, and I think Blackbeard's in the shadows right now, so we appreciate Blackbeard. Z9er says, you'll see. You'll see. He'll start somewhere. Watch. Look, there is a chance a team is that ridiculous, bro. That bad at decision makers, Z9er. You're not wrong that there's... I'm not even going to let you say I told you so, because I'm admitting it to you right now. There is potentially a dumb enough organization to do this. But he does not deserve, if you want to argue he deserves to start and that he's going to hang on to the job all year, now we're in a whole twilight zone. Pixie dust, fairy dust doesn't exist. No, thank you. Come on, bro. But could I see, I don't know, Joe Shine? God, that would be horrible for neighbors. Bringing in Jimmy Garoppolo. Oh man, there are a couple of GMs that are really inept. Really inept. It could a starter get hurt and he be a backup and come in. But this whole notion that Jimmy Garoppolo could start for the Rams if they get rid of, I think that might be where you're coming from. You're seeing a report or two on that. I don't think McVay. I think McVay's smart. I don't think McVay is gonna fall victim to that. My boy. That does not sound like McVay. Oh man, it is just dry out here. I don't know what I'm even looking at. There's nobody here. This is so bad. I guess I'm going to go Kyle Pitts. There's just nothing here.
Rashad White, Sampson. You got on running back?
Yeah, well, I got a lot of RBs, 4, but I'm definitely I got my eye on a couple of situations, but who sniped Blake Horn really early? You guys are wild, bro. Okay. You do you. I'll take Dylan Sampson here just because I don't trust this chat.
I know, I said it since a week ago.
Which player should I draft at the first pick in best ball? Mix it up, my boy. Jamar Chase if you only do one draft.
Super flex. Was it
super flex? Oh, he said it in another message. It's always a quarterback, bro. If anybody told you in the top 5 to not draft a quarterback in a super flex, I would run away from their advice as fast as I could. I'm not saying it pick 11 or 12 or 10 necessarily have to follow suit on that, but you take Josh Allen. Would I be mad at you if you took JD5? No, of course not. We're the founders of JD5. We told you. Would I be mad if you took Lamar there? No. Those are all good picks. I mean, even Jalen Hurts, it wouldn't be crazy. But one is Mahomes. I'm sorry, Josh Allen, Lamar, or JD5. Consensus. Those are really the top 3. But even I am taking Mahomes at the end of the first round in a super flex. I love that people are hating on him so badly that his value will be there. If I get a 12 or 11 or 10 pick in super flex this year, I'm not even concerned because I'll see Mahomes sitting right there. I think every time, which will be great. Jimmy G was fine, I bet. What? Okay.
Oh, Trey Lance. I'm saying Trey Lance fan.
Okay. I was about to zap you there, Z.
Yeah.
I know that term gets thrown around as a Trey Lance advocate, but be careful. You're treading light, treading on thin waters, bro. Look, Trey Lance was ruined by Shanahan. Like, you know that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if he knows that. It sounds to me like you don't know that. You don't know what Trey could have become. I get so tired to hearing people say that Trey was garbage and all that. He wasn't. He just played for a coach that decided he didn't want to use him. Let's go. The wide receivers. Kind of need another wide receiver, though. Do I go... Do I bank on McCaffrey getting hurt? I want to bank on...
Probably a safe bet.
I want to bank on McCaffrey getting hurt. Unfortunately. Put your earmuffs on, Niner. Z9er in the chat. I bet he has no idea that McCaffrey's not going to be 100% in 2025. I bet he has no clue. No, reports are he'll be as good as new. He'll be as good as new, Smitty. You didn't hear the report?
Yeah, people don't get Trey Lance before he blew his knee out compared to now is a whole different player. So I'm just looking at the chat here.
I'm gonna bank on
Things change.
Jordan Mason and Grendo doing what they did last year. So Dylan Sampson. I'm done with my RBs pretty much. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 RBs. I'm so behind on wide receiver. But on that note, I mean, I got 4 really good ones, but I'm a big running back advocate, though.
You still have Mason as a number 2 in San Francisco over Garendo?
I don't know. That's why I mean, it's weird because Garendo's ADP is higher, and it's like, it doesn't make sense because he's not going to be the starter if, let's say, injury strikes Christian McCaffrey for week 1 and he can't play week 1 again. Then it's going to be Mason. But Mason might not be there. He probably will be. He's a restricted free agent, but it's possible that a team offers him some. I mean, it's hard to know. Jimmy Garoppolo will be starting next year. LOL. I don't know how it's that funny to you, bro. I don't understand. Don't get it. CMC, I don't think he's gonna be the same. No, he's not. For sure not. I mean, if he is, let's say McCaffrey is the same. Like, he gets the work. He's absolutely electric. He's gonna get hurt immediately. And if they dial him back enough, he's not the same. And he stays healthy, but they use him in some sort of rotation. The problem is, Shanahan doesn't use 2 backs historically at all. Yeah, the Niners are crazy enough to draft Genty or Scatterboo. Which, if the Niners draft Scatterboo, that will be absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
That's the last thing that we want. But the Niners are totally capable of it. Just like they drafted Ricky Pearsall instead of Cooper DeJean. which was such a joke. Yeah, San Francisco takes Genty. I will be so mad. I'll probably end the live stream.
Someone's asking, do you have Bijan over Genty in Dynasty?
Yeah. But I could Genty be right neck and neck with him after this year? Sure. Yeah, Niners just, without Adam Peters last year, the Niners just crapped the bed in the draft. It was embarrassing. Honestly, Shanahan should have had more ridicule from that. But he didn't, And then the Niner fan base finally stepped up and started to kind of hold him accountable. I'm going to go with A.D. Mitchell here. I don't love him here, but he's all right. Niner fans kind of started to hold him accountable. Who am I going to take here? Do you like Troy Franklin at all? I don't know. I'm going to go
from Denver?
I'm going to go Jalen Naylor. I think he's very underrated. I don't know why nobody thinks he can do similar things. I mean, he really had 6 touchdowns, really had a good year. I mean, it was a really good, solid year for him. He's a really good receiver.
Both interested to see what Naylor and Poker do this year. Both of them, when they had a shot, looked pretty good.
Yeah. He drafted the best cornerback in the second round. It was crazy. The Eagles put a masterclass on everybody, especially the Niners, though. Best guard. What is this? Ricky will be good too. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Ricky was the worst pick they could have. That was a dumb pick. That was an absolutely stupid pick. It was so dumb. Doesn't matter. Just like drafting Bucky Irving, who we love. He's a top 5 to 10 running back. Drafting Bucky Irving at the 1.3 is a stupid pick. Doesn't matter if he finishes as the 3rd best running back. It's a stupid pick because you can get him in the 3rd round. And you're leaving so much meat on the bone in the 1st and 2nd round with that strategy. So drafting Ricky Pearsall was a stupid pick. Doesn't matter how good he is. Doesn't matter. Couldn't even use him last year. It was a stupid pick. I can't stand when people say, "Oh, that wasn't that bad because Ricky Pearsall is going to be pretty good." It was you could have got him in the 2nd round. You took Ricky Pearsall. You could have got Lad McConkey. What are you talking? Don't go there. Don't go there.
Well, it's the perfect example too, because you flushed Cooper DeJean down the toilet, in order to get Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah. It was just such a bad pick. It was like just crazy. Round 18, so I've got 3 more picks to make. My team is Mahomes, Dak, Bijan, Kyron, ETN, Bigsby, Samson, Garendo, Mason, Tyreek, Rashee Rice, Ted McMillan, Igbuka, A.D. Mitchell, Jalen Naylor. For waiting as long as I did at wide receiver, I don't feel like I messed up or I'm looking like it's fine. I think A.D. Mitchell and Naylor, there's a pretty decent. Given I stacked everywhere else pretty well, like Tyler Warren with Kyle Pitts just in case, I feel pretty good about it. Is it my favorite team I've ever drafted? No. Nope. Dami Brown? He's okay here, I guess. I guess they shouldn't have said that out loud.
I'm just going to take them.
Kayshon Boutte. What about, Westbrook Akine deserves a little more respect. Do we think Dami Brown's going to be anything next year? It's late.
I think he is what we've talked about him being.
Not bad. How many more rounds we got? Okay.
I don't see him elevating to anything elite.
Let's go with Westbrook Akine here. That ain't bad. I don't think. To have Dami Brown, Westbrook Akine, Jalen Naylor, and A.D. Mitchell, those aren't horrible like end of the bench receivers.
I really like AD if they can get the QB figured out with the coach stuff.
Stashing the 49ers running backs helped me last season in fantasy football. Wi-Fi, you're welcome. You're welcome. Tebow says it was such a dumb pick. Kinlaw, he's trash. He's absolute trash. Guy can't stay healthy. He doesn't have a good head on his shoulders, in my opinion. He's absolute trash. All right. Anybody have a question? Dial in. We won't be here much longer.
Call into the show.
Actually,
Call into the show.
we got to go over the bold prediction board. So we will be here for a few minutes. But dial in if anybody wants to. So I have one more pick left, and then we'll do that. I can start reading it off right now. So I'm going to read off. Okay. So looking at this board, I mean, going from the top, it's crazy. Fields MVP, no. Atlanta NFC champion, no. Fields starter by week 4, top 12, Matt O. The problem with that one is that he didn't maintain the job, so it's not even, so you can't even. Goff, Pittsburgh to the Super Bowl, or it was golf. Golf's one. Deckard, KC, number 3, Super Bowl. Oh, hold on. I gotta let me cue a player. I need somebody. Hold on. I need one more player, so let me just cue somebody. What do I need though? I guess I need a tight end. Maybe. Or do I want a quarterback? What do I need more? I probably need a backup tight end more than I need a backup quarterback, right? I got Dak and Mahomes, and I have Tyler Warren and Pitts. I don't know.
That's a toss-up. I mean, probably a little riskier at tight end.
I guess
Dak's healthy. Mahomes.
The question is
toss-up. Who's available?
Yeah. Milrow?
Who's left at tight end? Anyone decent? Even worth your time?
We're in a snipe environment, so it doesn't surprise me.
Oh yeah.
Where is no, not just that, but where I'm looking for somebody specific. Okay, so do I like Rodgers, Jackson Dart, or let me wait till this pick happens. I'm gonna need a quick response though, because I'm gonna have 28 seconds or whatever. So Jackson Dart, Aaron Rodgers. Let's let him time out here. Bart. Okay, he went tight end Strange. So do I go Sinnott, Jackson Dart, Aaron Rodgers, or Milrow? Or I'm sorry, Milton. Joe Milton.
I don't like Milton or Sinnott. I like those two. Although Milton might not get playing time, so.
Well, yeah, but I'm expecting him.
Okay.
But let's see here. Theo Johnson. Looks like Sinnott got taken. Ah!
Oh, did he?
I timed out. Who did I time out on? Dart. Okay. Whatever.
That's all right. Yeah. I think Dart will start probably wherever he goes. I think whoever takes him, he'll be starting.
Let's mark this down. So Bruce says Bears out all. What's he writing here? Bruce says, Schultz will outscore all other wide receivers on the roster. No. Silver said that Ferguson would be a top 3 tight end. That didn't work. Shakir, top 12 wide receiver by Silver. What was Shakir at? Can you look that up?
Yeah, I'll check it.
New Age Outlaw says Musgrave, top 3 tight end. No. JJ McCarthy over JD5 was Ron. Remember Ron got real mad at me? He's like, JJ
yeah.
McCarthy's better than JD5, Smitty. Atlanta NFC Championship game. Fields MVP, no. Calvin Krim said Philly bottom 5 defense. Ouch! Ouch! Calvin, where are you at? Bottom 5. Okay. Smitty.
Shakir was wide receiver 37.
Okay, so no. I just want to see how close he was, but Smitty, Smitty says Eagles NFC champions. Boom. But I can't win the contest, but I think Superfish and I are in the lead. Tank Dell, top 1,500 yards, 13 TDs. No. Caleb, Rookie of the Year to Matt O. Matt O, shout out. Stroud, 4,500 yards, 47 TDs. But remember, asterisk next to 25. That was where Terry came in with the bold prediction and said, Stroud's going to have 25 TDs. And we're like, bro, that's not going to win a bold prediction contest. So we moved it to 47.
Yeah, that's right.
DeBalt, Stroud MVP, no. Superfish, Jonu Smith, top 5 tight end. So far, that is our leader.
Let him cook.
Nice job, Superfish. Ron Navy, Bajent will start more games than Caleb. It was a good call, good try. I like the where he was going from that. George from the Bay, top 5 wide receiver, Brandon Ayuk. George. Tebow said Pickens outscores London. Ron Navy, Ayuk goes to Pittsburgh in that trade last year. No. Ron, Troy Franklin, 8 TDs and top 5 rookie wide receiver. No. Golf, Chicago wins wins one playoff game. Golf, Troy Franklin, wide receiver 2. Wide receiver 2? Or what's he saying there? He says wide receiver 2, but then he says 1,000 yards, 9 TDs. No. Ron Navy, Roman Wilson, top 5 wide receiver. No. Calvin Krim, Sirianni, Dable, McCarthy, all fired. No. Ron Navy, Kyler not starting by week 7. God, Ron was pessimistic.
Yeah, wow. He was
Axe.
down.
Axe said Russ Wilson starts all year. Good try, though. Axe. Jonathan Brooks wins Rookie of the Year. No. Matto. MHJ breaks the rookie wide receiver touchdown record. No. These are all misses. They're just everybody went like so crazy. Lancaster. Darnold starts more than 6 games.
Ooh.
Then J.J. McCarthy outscores all rookie quarterbacks per start. Wow, that ain't bad. That's in the mix. That's Lancaster. Okay, so Lancaster, we gotta put Lancaster down in Superfish. That was a pretty good one. So Lancaster, Darnold. I mean that's calling Darnold pretty good. Superfish said Jonu. So I didn't think we had a lot of competitors for Superfish, but that's a pretty good one. Ray G, Stroud, 50 TDs. No, the Patrick said Pittsburgh worst team in the division. No, I mean, no, but maybe. Silver, Shakir, top 12 wide receiver. Silver, Ferguson, top 1 to 3 tight end. I think I rewrote that. Bruce said Schultz.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I rewrote that one. Just Jay said Miller, 250 total yards more than Kamara. Kendre Miller, no. Matthew says JSN, top 15 wide receiver.
Yeah.
How bold was
Got
that,
it.
though, in the preseason? Because, I mean, he was a pretty good player, but, like, I think maybe...
Yeah.
It still may be good, though. What was that? Who was that? Who did
I didn't hear what you
who did I
said.
say that was? Let's see here. JSN, that was Matthew Hines? I don't even remember him. Sorry, Matthew, if you're watching. That was Matthew.
You got it right though. So
Yeah, so that I think that needs to be in here, top 15. I just don't know if that's bolder than these, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's definitely in the mix. Kyler, D-Town Lions Super Bowl winner, no. Ray D. Stroud, Lancaster, Darnold. Tomlin fired. Wow, that was good by. I mean, it was close. John. Caleb Rookie of the Year, no. New Age says Tom Brady Super Bowl, wins the Super Bowl in 2024. He never came back, so no. Cobble says JD5 over Lamar. He didn't, but that's still strong. But Achan 1,500 yards and 13 TDs. I mean, that's a pretty good prediction. He was a very high prospect, though. I don't know if that seems like. I think when he dropped that, who was it that dropped that? It was More something Morick or more. I wrote the name wrong. It got smudged. But Achan was kind of expected.
You know what's funny though? He had 1,499 total yards and 12 TDs.
Yeah, but I mean, he was kind of expected to maybe do that. So Just Jay says the Kendra Miller one. Ron says Estime will be a top 10 running back. Ron put a bunch of crazy ones on here. The Patrick Pittsburgh would be Tomlin's Pittsburgh worst team in the division. Tomlin's last year. I mean that was there's some truth to some of what he's leaning toward, but it didn't work. That's it. Musgrave. Yeah, that's it. So I think we're ready to vote on it. I don't know if Superfish is in the building. We got a super chat that's from Aaron. Aaron says AFC NFC champion prediction Lamar's last year. Are you trying to put it on the? Yeah, the bold prediction is for $50 haulers, unfortunately, but this is a good prediction. So we're gonna wipe that clean. It'll be clear, and then we got to put up Ray G's. All right, let's vote on this one. I want everybody to put in the live chat their vote. You can write 1 for Darnold, Lancasters. Please give me the number and don't vote more than once. Superfish will be 2 with the Jonnu Smith prediction being a top 5 tight end. Darnold would start more games than McCarthy and outscore all rookie quarterbacks, which he did. That's a 1. Vote 2 for Superfish, Jonnu Smith. And Matthew said JSN would be a top 15 wide receiver. He's 3. Vote in the chat. Vote in the chat now, and I'll tally these. So we got 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. Two, 1. Let's go. Hit me with it. Change my vote to 1. Two, 2. So I guess I'm adding a 1 there. 2, 2. Or no, that's 1 more 2. Sorry, Matthew. Matthew's getting blasted here. No one can see the votes for Lancaster. Let me put them above. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 3. That's where Lancaster is at right there. Travis, what's your vote? Or did you vote?
already voted. I voted for Superfish.
I'm gonna vote Superfish, so that's gonna give Superfish one more. That's 5, 6. Okay, so we'll do that. So Superfish has 11. Lancaster has 6. And Matthew got 1. Value-wise, Jonu's the best. I agree. We'll let it go a little longer though. So Superfish wins. What's the winner get? Superfish gets to on the phone line if however anybody wants to do it, but you kind of like gonna co-host a show, a couple of segments, whatever you want. You can get Superfish can give it away. Superfish can just call in and sit on the phone line for as long as the whole show as Superfish wants. Okay. I think we could do this on a much busier evening. I mean, we got 156 total people in here, but is no one else going to vote? I mean, we got 156 people in the building, sum total, and we're only going to have this many votes. We're going to literally be down to under 20 votes. I mean, come on. Jonu Smith is vote number, you put down a 2. Lancaster for the Darnold is 1, and JSN, you put a 3 in the chat. How come we only have less than 20 votes with 150 people watching? How many thumbs up do we have? 43? Do your job! We got somebody else vote number 3. And please subscribe and like. If you're new, subscribe. If you're not new or you're new, hit that like button, please. There's only 43 likes in here. I mean, what are we doing? Is everybody sleeping? Okay. 7 to 11 to 2. I'm gonna take just a few more minutes of voting, and then we're wrapping it up. Man, no, everyone's got the show in the earpiece. I think, sleeping away. We got Daniel in the garage, in the dark, and he can't type. Well, I guess nobody wants to interact. That's crazy. We got 1. Did I already vote that one? No. Okay, so we got 8 over here. We've got 12 over here. It's not that.
Got the other one. You got the Millies or Mills.
Yeah.
Just voted for.
Yeah, I did. It's still close enough to hold off a little bit, but. Can't believe how many of those were just straight up whiffs of predictions. I think this year you guys might want to make it like, as you can see, the JSN was in the mix though, even though it wasn't crazy bold, is bold enough to make the top 3. So, sometimes you just gotta make sure it's landable.
Yeah. There was a few people, several Caleb Williams ones though, and those ones people were confident on. I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, some of them were extra bold. And I guess hindsight too, thinking about Ferguson before you went into the season, with the season Dak had the year before, could you have seen him being a top 5 tight end? Yeah, I think you might have said top 3.
Why, Aaron? Why you say it's a rigged election? I've been counting it pretty accurately. We can do this on a actual poll if you want. Who wins? Superfish, Jonu, JSN, Lancaster? No, who was JSN? Matthew?
Matthew, yeah.
I don't even know who that is, though. If he wins, I don't know if he's going to come back. Darnold. Matthew, you out there? Lancaster. All right, here we go. Let's do this. I thought I did a good job. I don't know what you're talking about there, Aaron.
I think you had it.
Okay, create poll. It's going to be my vote. All right, here's the poll, ladies and gentlemen. Vote on the winner. There it is. And Let me put the pull up on the screen. Seven to 4. What's going on with this stupid ad? Get out of the way. Okay, here we go. 7 to 4. See, no one is even voting. We got 152 people in here. And we've got 7 to 4. What are we doing? Here's the link one more time. We got Wes in the building. Wes says, hey, what's up, Wes? Appreciate the super chat, my boy. What are we doing? I don't understand why no one's voting. 9 to 4. You got 152 people just sitting there going, ah. It's like when there's a backup on the road and you're like, what is going on? And you get to the point where the backup is and there's a mattress laying in 2 of the 3 lanes and you just drive around and let it. Screw it. Screw it. I'm already past it. Not my problem. I don't know what to say. It's 9 to 4. No one wants to vote. No one wants to vote. I don't get it. What do you mean you're trying to vote? Don't do this, Wes. Don't do this. You're trying to do this. You're trying. Oh my God, Wes. How hard is it? There's a link. It's a link, and there you vote on it. Remember when Wes couldn't call in? He's like, I'm trying to call in. I don't understand for like an hour. I'm trying to call in. I don't understand what's going on. Wes, come on. All right, I'm calling it 11 to 6. Superfish wins.
Yep.
I had a more accurate vote manually, though. We had more people.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Congratulations, Superfish, for winning the poll. I don't care what happens from here on out. It's already sealed and delivered. Congratulations, Superfish, doing it live. I will see you all tomorrow. Travis, any final words or questions or comments?
Nope. Talk to you later.
All right. Yeah. Anybody wants to drop a new $50 hauler to kick off 2025 with Ray G? Ray G dropped his prediction, which is fantastic. Thank you, Ray G. I'll put you up on the board. You were the first person on the board with the $50 hauler. I'll see you all tomorrow. Hit that like button on the way out the door if you could. Thank you to my super chatters, Ray G, Aaron, Wes. Appreciate you.